Thanksgiving at my grandmother's old farmhouse had always been warm, loud, and full of the smells of pumpkin pie and roasted turkey. But last year, something was different, something cold hung in the air long before the chilling events that would haunt me forever. It began the moment we arrived. Grandma, usually cheerful and bustling around the kitchen, looked pale and distracted. She hugged each of us quickly, glancing over our shoulders as if she expected someone else to follow us in. "Grandma, are you okay?" I asked. She forced a smile but didn't answer. Only later did I realize she was afraid of something she didn't want to say out loud. A strange place at the table, as we set up the dining room, I noticed something odd. At the very end of the long wooden table, Grandma had placed an extra plate fine china, polished silverware, and even a folded napkin shaped into a perfect little swan. But no one in our family was missing. "Grandma," I asked again, "who's that for?" She froze. "No one," she whispered. "Just leave it." Her voice cracked with fear. My mother shot me a look as if to say don't push it, but the heaviness in the room grew with every passing minute. Knocking at the window as night settled in, the wind howled against the windows, and the old house creaked with the shifting temperature. My cousins and I sat in the living room, scrolling our phones and waiting for dinner. Then, tap, tap. We all turned toward the sound. Someone was knocking on the dining room window. My cousin Jake walked over, lifted the curtain slightly, then stepped back fast. "There's no one there," he said, voice shaking. I didn't believe him until I checked myself. The porch was empty, but the knocking continued, harder now, impatient. Grandma rushed over and slammed the curtains shut. "He knows we're home," she whispered. "He?" we all repeated. But she didn't explain. Dinner begins when we finally sat down for Thanksgiving dinner. The tension was so thick you could feel it pressing on your skin. Grandma insisted the extra plate remain untouched. She kept glancing at it, flinching at every sound. Halfway through the meal, the front door creaked open. We froze. "Probably the wind," Mom said, but her voice shook. The footsteps that followed certainly weren't the wind. Slow, dragging steps moved down the hallway. The dim lights flickered as the sound grew closer. Grandma's hands trembled so badly she dropped her spoon. "He found us," she whispered. The footsteps stopped right behind my chair. A cold, icy breath brushed the back of my neck. I didn't dare turn around. The unspoken guest. The chair at the end of the table, the one no one sat in, scraped loudly as if someone invisible had taken a seat. The napkin slowly unfolded itself and fell to the floor. Grandma bowed her head, whispering prayers under her breath. Mom stood up. "Stop this, whoever you think you are," a low growl cut her off. "Not human. Not even close." The lights flickered violently, and the room plunged into darkness for a split second. When they came back on, the turkey was sliced cleanly, pieces arranged on the serving platter like someone had quickly prepared their meal. Except none of us had touched it. The knife lay on the table, covered in something darker than gravy. My stomach twisted. The story Grandma never told. Unable to take it anymore, I demanded answers. Grandma's voice trembled as she spoke. "When I was young, on a snowy Thanksgiving night, a man came to this house. He was starving, freezing, begging for help. My father turned him away. The man died on the road, alone." She swallowed hard. "Ever since then, every Thanksgiving, he returns, hungry, angry, looking for the meal he never got." Jake whispered, "But why did he come to our table?" Grandma looked at the empty chair. "Because we're the ones still living in his home." The final warning, the room grew cold. Frost spread across the tablecloth. One by one, candles blew out until only darkness remained. The unseen guest stood up. We heard the chair push back. We heard heavy, slow breathing behind us. And then, a voice raspy, hollow, echoing like it came from the grave. I'll be back next year." The front door slammed shut on its own. The warmth slowly returned to the house, but none of us moved for several minutes. Now, a year later, Thanksgiving is coming again. Grandma refuses to stay in the farmhouse. We all avoid talking about what happened that night. But sometimes, late at night, I hear the same sound echoing in the back of my mind. Tap, tap, he's coming again. And this time, he might not be satisfied with just a place at the table.